Hi guys, so hopefully you've all watched the proper lesson video already and you've completed the worksheet and submitted it. What this video is just a little bit of extension, some practical work if you want to do some other bits on the computer. Now it's optional, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to, and you don't have to submit anything, but this is what we would usually do as the practical part of the lesson in class, okay? So first thing I need you to do is go on to a brand new blank PowerPoint and set up 3 slides. You're going to set up your first main inside a PC slide, okay, which has just got like a wee title on it. You're then going to set up 2 more slides, one for input devices, and then a little description about the keyboard and the mouse being the main 2 components and what they do, and then the output devices and a little description about the monitor being the main output device and what it does. Okay, and once you've got those 3 set up, you then need to add in some pictures. Okay, now you can go to the internet, copy and paste your pictures in, or if you want to, you might have them saved already in a folder. What I'm going to do is just insert the pictures that I've already downloaded from the internet and pop them in just really quickly. Okay, so I've got a folder called output devices. I'm just going to select all of them. Can I? Control A actually selects them all. Press insert. And then you can just arrange these in any way that you want. If you are not like me using a white background and you want to change it so it's got a clear background so it doesn't have that white box around it. See, this one doesn't have a white box around it, but a lot of these ones do. I can show you how to change that, okay? Pop all these things in here. These are just the monitor examples up the top. And then obviously you can have any pictures, and you don't have to just have these type of devices. These are just some examples that we looked at. You can have as many as you want. Okay, there's my output devices ones. If I go up into input devices, and pop them in. This one's an animated GIF. If you're copying an animated GIF from the internet, my biggest trick is that if you copy it and then when you paste, rather than doing right click and paste, if you just press Control V, it copies it in the right format so that it still works properly. Okay, so there's my images. Now if I just I'll pop that there, right? I'll just use this one as an example and make it nice and big so you can see it. And actually what I'll do is I'll pull it over to the side so you can see it a bit better. Okay, so this is what it looks like here with this white box around it. If you click on an image and you go to picture format and then remove background, what you can do is you can remove background. Now what it does is removes all the bits that are purple. So if I was to keep changing this now, it cuts off far too much of the camera, right? So I'm just going to Control Z and undo that. But if I go into remove background, and what you do is you use the pink pen to select any of the parts that you want to keep. And you just keep basically drawing lines over the bits you want to keep until it's selected everything you're looking for. So I want that down there. And you'll see that it kind of jumps about and changes. So you just have to keep drawing it until you're happy with it. Now if you do what I've done there and just go over the edge a little bit too much and you don't want that, you just take the red pen, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and what you do is you just, oh goodness me, what's happened there? Moved up to the next slide, zoom out a bit, back in, and just take that red pen and you just draw along there again and it should take it away. Again, green pen, keep this bit, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but just as close as you can. Okay, and then when you're happy with it, you just press keep. And then you can see that the white background has been removed. So if you want to put it a little bit closer to any of the other pictures, it should work a little bit better. Okay, so that's just a wee trick you can use. So you've got your input pictures in here, you've got your output pictures in here. Then what you want to do is go to the internet and get yourself a desktop computer picture. So if I just go to desktop PC, press enter, go to Google Images, and you can find yourself any picture of a desktop computer, but what I want is ideally one kind of similar to this in the fact that you've got your main PC box, you've got your keyboard and mouse, and you've got your monitor, because that's what you really need, okay? And you just copy the image and paste it in here. Okay, so that's got your main setup. Okay, now what I want to do once you've got your 3 slides made is show you how to do the connections between the different pages. Okay, and they work in slightly different ways. Okay, well, let's start with the easier ones first. So on both the input and the output devices page, what we want to have is a little link in the corner that goes back to this page. Okay, so we can do that in a number of different ways. You could create a wee picture up there and you could link it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in something called an action button. So if you go to insert and you go to shape, you can use any shapes if you want, but I'm going to go down at the bottom and see these action buttons that are here, and I'm going to use one of them. So I'm going to just pick one with a wee arrow on it. I'm going to draw it in the corner. And what's important about an action button is it comes up wanting you to do the hyperlink first. So a hyperlink basically means a link from one place to another. Okay. Now, do we want to hyperlink to the last slide? No. The next slide, previous slide, first slide? No. What's the easiest thing to do is to click on the one that says slide ... and then you choose the slide. So I want that button to link to this slide. So I press OK, OK, and it's linked. Then afterwards, I can change it to my heart's content. I can pick one of these pre-made themes, or I can go and I can change the actual fill-in theme myself. I love the colour purple, so I might want to change it purple with black lines or whatever. Okay, so you choose what it looks like. You can then either create the same one on the next page, or because they're going to the same slide, I can just copy and paste them onto the next slide. Okay, so if I play this slide, click on there, it takes me back to that main page. Okay, also you'll always know when a hyperlink is there, because you can see the normal cursor changes from an arrow to the clicky finger, and that's when you know a hyperlink is there. Okay, on this page there's no hyperlink, so I click anywhere, it just takes me to the next slide. Okay, so what I want to then do is if I click on this mouse or keyboard, it takes me to the input devices page. Okay, now I do that by creating a shape that's going to be see-through. Okay, so I'll draw my rectangle over here like that. Okay, and this whole area is going to be hyperlinked. Maybe you want to make sure it's not touching anything else. Okay, then what I do is I right click and I go to link. Okay, so kind of same as before, still a hyperlink, just a slightly different way of doing it. Okay, I then want to link not to a web page, not to a new document email address, but to a place in this document already. And when I click on the keyboard or the mouse, I want to link to the input devices page. So I press OK. And if you want to, you can test it before you make it see-through by just seeing there's the wee cursor change, and then you click, takes you there. Okay. Now, we don't obviously want this big blue rectangle over the top of our keyboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to change, once that keyboard's selected, we're in shape format, you're going to change the fill to no fill and change the line to no outline. Okay, so it's a see-through box. It's there, but you can't see it. And that way, when you play it, what you can see is when you hover over the mouse or the rectangle, the cursor still changes, still that link there, but you can't see it. Okay, and then effectively what you're going to do is the same thing for the monitor. So I'm going to go create a rectangle right over the most of the monitor screen. Okay, right click, I'm going to link it to a place in this document, and it's going to go to output devices, press OK. Okay, change the fill to no fill, change the outline to no outline, and always make sure that you're testing it. Okay, so it works brilliantly. Now, so far it works great. The only thing is that if I click anywhere in the background, it does take me to input devices, and I don't want it to do that, right? So what I usually do is when I'm creating a fully kind of connected PowerPoint, and I don't want to be able to slip just from slide to slide, what you do is you go into transitions. And you'll have seen transitions before. You can pick all weird and wonderful transitions. You can still do that. Okay, so if you wanted to, for example, it to push up, or you wanted it to fade or to morph into another one, doesn't matter which one you pick. Okay, so pick one that you like. I'm going to pick, I would always just say don't pick anything too fancy. It doesn't always look that professional, but I'm just going to go for a fade, classic fade, right? But what you want to do over here, see here it says advanced slide. So this at the moment is checked for on mouse click. So when you click, it'll move to the next slide. I don't want that to happen. Okay, but I've only applied this to this first slide. So what I need to do is click on apply to all. And then you'll notice if I go to the next slide, it's got unchecked and it's fade. And if you go to the next slide, it's unchecked and it's fade. So now if I go back to the first slide, play the PowerPoint again. Okay, I can click anywhere in the background. It doesn't go anywhere. I click on here, it goes to output devices. I can go back, I can go to input devices, and I can go back. And over the next few weeks, if you want to take part in the practical, what I'm going to do is we're going to create a hyperlink here next week. and go inside the computer and start having a look at some of the different parts inside there and go deeper and deeper by creating hyperlinks inside and inside. Okay, one last thing I would say is that make it jazzy. So if you want to come up with some sort of theme or design, then absolutely fine. If you want to have, like mine, a plain background, I would still always suggest that you pick you know, a nice font and a nice colour scheme and try to kind of stick to that colour scheme the whole way through. So because I've went for purple hyperlinks here, you've got hyperlinks the whole way through. Also, a cool thing you can do just with action buttons if you want to, just as one last thing, if you go and create select an action button like this and you draw it in the corner, what you can also do is you can get it to hyperlink to end show, and what that will do is it will make it end. So I'm going to change this one to just an orange one just because it's going to do something different to the purple ones. If I click on play, I can go back, and then when I get to here, if I click this, it closes the show, which is quite cool. Okay, so that's what I want you to do, and then just save it, and you can add to it every single week when you want. Okay, hopefully that's given you something to work on. But remember, this is optional, and that the worksheet is your main work that I want you to submit on Show My Homework. Okay, enjoy playing about with PowerPoint, and I'll speak to you next week, guys. Bye.